Hey, I'm Dukes on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and GreenSunsZenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Yo, hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with Red White Initiative. This is a deck that I've been playing around with a little bit online. It's actually one of the first decks I've played without streaming ever, which is pretty crazy. I don't usually play Magic Online when I'm not streaming or recording a league. So for me to play a deck without having kind of a second reason to do so is pretty big. This deck's been pretty fun. It's been pretty fast, which is great for someone who has a little bit of time here and there and likes to play leagues. When I start a league, I finish a league. I don't think I've ever played a league where I played like a match a day over 5 days. I'm not sure if that's like a normal thing though. I'm not sure if most people do that and play over multiple days. I also didn't have chat open, I apologize. But yeah, Red White's been putting up results. So I'm pretty keen to see how I can navigate the life of an initiative player. This deck is pretty powerful. One of my favorite turn ones is just turn 1 Archon of Emeria, which a lot of decks can't beat game 1, which is hilarious that a 2/3 bird is just that good enough. Oh, that good. But yeah, super sweet deck, super clean as well. Like Boromir as a 1-of is kind of the outlier, potentially even the 1-of Null Rod, but otherwise a lot of play sets, a lot of 3-ofs, things I really like to see in Legacy when it comes to non-ponder, non-brainstorm decks. Because you want to see the cards, you want to see them. So here we are. Not much else to say. Let's get into a league. The one thing I will say is with this deck, it's very quick, but your turns matter. And you need to put your time into really understanding the opening turns, because I've been hit a lot of times where I've had like Chrome Mox, Spirit Guide, Soul Land, Initiative Creature, and something else. And I've gone, yep, cool, that's a turn 1 Dungeoneer. You know, I have like double this. And then I'll put the Simian Spirit Guide underneath the Moxen, or I've done something where I've just really, yeah, screwed up the way to actually get my creatures into play. So, yeah, looking to play consistently, and we'll see how we go. Hey Sliver, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Gameplay, nice. All right. But yeah, a big thank you to Dennis, who just came on for a recording for a deck tech for Abzan Depths for Eternal Weekend, which is cool. I think it ran just over an hour-ish, like the other ones up on YouTube at the moment. So that's pretty cool. I'll render that tonight and then have it live this time tomorrow night. So really looking forward to get that done. I also have a donation deck list in the works for Bant Maverick, which is pretty cool. A color combination and deck you don't typically see these days, but always cool to see where an archetype is, how it fares, maybe try out some new tech and what's happening kind of in that space. So that's always really cool. All right, we're on the play. We can move this across. Okay, what do we have? So for a hand that doesn't have an initiative creature, you really got to look at what does it have otherwise. So here we have turn 1 Chalice into turn 2 Anointed Peacekeeper. We then also have potentially a Solitude if needed. We have some extra mana. If we draw a initiative creature off the top as well, we also have a turn 2 initiative creature, which is great thanks to the Chrome Mox or Spirit Guide. So I tend to be a little bit aggressive with my mulligans, kind of like depths. In depths, I like to have, especially turbo depths, either dark depths and Hexmage or Stage in hand, or ways to find them in, say, crop rotation, or a mull. This hand otherwise has a pretty good just opening of turn 1 Chalice, which is still annoying in Legacy. Turn 2 Anointed Peacekeeper, potentially naming something like Wasteland, make sure our mana stays away. And then we have like a pretty decent plan from there. So I'm actually happy to keep this. It's probably one of the, probably a hand that isn't initiative based that I'm happy to keep early on. Could always try like a turn 1 Anointed Peacekeeper here as well, but I really like that Chalice stops everything from Bolt to Swords to Plowshares. And I like to play this Peacekeeper down with the Cavern, so I guess we could go if we really wanted. Chrome Mox, Pitch, Solitude, Spirit Guide, Cavern Named Human, Peacekeeper, but that does throw a lot of eggs into the one basket, whereas turn 1 Chalice is just turn 1 Chalice, so I'm pretty happy here to turn 1 Chalice. This is weird. I haven't seen this yet. Just click on it like normal. Okay, here we go. Okay. Pretty happy just to pass here and hope the Chalice was good. Okay. Island Pass makes me think this Chalice is going to be pretty good. Petal. Okay, so all the mana in the world, which is nice. Let's go for Cavern. Cavern really nice here as well, because it means that our opponent can't use Force of Will to pitch something like a Ponder or Brainstorm they have in hand. Okay, well there's the Force. So they have the Show and Tell. We do have the Solitude, which is nice. So I kind of like... This is interesting. So Anointed Peacekeeper says, spells your opponents cast with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate, and activate abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more. So I could name Show and Tell and just kind of take Show and Tell off the board. And then they have to put in Sneak Attack, but then we have the Solitude for it. But then they have the Force and Ponder for the Solitude. So there's not really a world where I can stop them from being able to put in a creature of the Sneak. I think I'd name the Sneak and then make it harder for them to actually... Yeah, I think we just go with Sneak Attack here. They can Show Turn in, but this still stops it. Because activate abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate, so yeah, that's fine. Another Cavern would be very good for us, naming Elemental. I can also keep up what we know. So I wonder if they just go City of Traitors, Show and Tell in Sneak Attack here. If that's the case, I'm probably just putting in the Spirit Guide as a 2/1. That would be a 4-turn clock with the Peacekeeper. If I put in the Solitude, it's still a 4-turn clock, so I'd rather just hold the Solitude in hand. Probably having a pretty big think in their upkeep. Before they even drew, which is interesting. This Petal. Wow, that is passing. Okay. They're not even going to Show and Tell. Nice. Pretty good. I think here I'd rather use the Petal than the Spirit Guide. Potentially I'd rather just like to hold the Petal. Sorry, hold the Spirit Guide. Could attack first. Yeah. Initiative does nothing here, so I might as well attack first. And hey, a big thank you to you for watching. It means a lot. Hope you're well. If you have any questions during the stream, let me know. If you want to let me know about your local Legacy scene, I always really enjoy hearing about different scenes around the world. If you play weekly, if you play monthly. Dennis Sweder's hat on is from Germany, and they have a monthly, which gets like 50 to 65 players, which is pretty crazy. Let's use the Petal. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can use the Petal because I can get a basic planes. Is there any MTGO resources for someone wanting to start out? I would say YouTube is your best bet. Even something like MTGO Beginner's Guide. You could also look at, I believe Thraben U put in something about the local, like the current metagame, like an hour-long video. Are you talking specifically about like playing Magic the Gathering online as a platform? There isn't anything on YouTube since 2022? Oof, okay. Okay. Well, that is a missed opportunity, I feel. We are just going to go for clock here. I'd probably rather just... There's no big difference here. I mean, in case they have some sort of main deck bolt effect. Okay, that should be pretty good at clearing this game out. But yeah, in the meantime, if you can't find actual guides on MTGO, I would actually say look up Pauper content, because you might actually find a deck that you like in Pauper, which online is very cheap. I believe Card Hoarder also give you like 2 tickets for free through a little thing, which is pretty cool. Huh, I can Chalice again if I really want to. Is there a need though? I could Chalice for 3 to... Not great though. Like, they do have the Force, but there is 1 less Force for Solitude. How do I lose this game? I probably lose the game from them casting Show and Tell, putting in Sneak, and then having the ability to also put in a creature the same turn. I'm already at 14, which is relevant because an Emrakul swing is, of course, 15. Put them down to 6 if they want to force the Archon. I don't mind trying to jam the Archon here. I could also hold it, but I think this is fine. I guess Chalice for 0 is also a consideration, and if it was, I should have played it before the Archon. Okay, they're going to force here. We're just going to play this for 0 to stop other Lotus Petal. Solitude does beat Emrakul, but we did know about the Force. So if they show until in a sneak attack and then we try to Solitude it, we would not win that battle. And the pond is gone. Okay. Base of $5 is tough, but not undoable. Yeah, I would say not in Legacy. And Hero actually has a great point. MTGO does come out with these tokens which you can purchase, which give you kind of a God account. But I do believe they cost around $25. But it's a great way to get like, is this what you want to play? So we put in Solitude. We hit this. If we had like Karakas, we could not do this, but they go to 13. They see a bunch of cards. Hopefully not enough to get there. Thankfully here, they've already cast the Show and Tell. They have the sneak attack. We know about Atraxa. They have the Omniscience. What they need here in the 3 already is another Show and Tell, because they can go Ancient Tomb, cast Show and Tell of the Petal, put in Omniscience, and then put in Emrakul, and then just win the game. Just pretty brutal. Like, we've had a great start. Turn 1 Chalice for 1, Anointed Peacekeeper naming Sneak Attack, Caves coming down as well to get the pressure on. we do just win next turn. We also have the 5 coming off the initiative, so... Wow, nothing? Interesting. They are dead on board. I'm actually not too sure what I bought in here. The Containment Priest seemed good. I'm not sure about the swords. Potentially the swords. So I definitely want the priests. I probably want the Lorans. I think against a deck like this, show and tell players will try to put in either a Omniscience or a Sneak Attack, not a creature. Solitudes are great. Archons are great. A lot of this deck just lines up really well. This is actually very good as well, and it's actually very, very funny because Omniscience means you don't have to pay the casting cost, the CMC cost of the spell, which means that if your opponent has Omniscience out and you have Boromir out, I believe they can't cast anything, which is pretty nice. Chalice. I think it's actually Chalice. I think Chalice just hits the least amount of things, which is weird to say against like a blue deck, but I think it might just be Chalice here that I want to take out. Probably some amount of swords, but I kind of like just having Solitudes. Hey Pigeon, hope you're well. Yeah. Boromir and CDH? Yeah, Boromir just in... Yeah, especially the creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn is very good. I could see Forth. Like maybe just one sword just to know I have one. Forth is still strong. But I probably don't want multiples in my opening hand. But I do like interaction in something like Containment Priest. I think this is actually a pretty sweet hand. We have Tome on Karakas, which isn't powerful, but we do from then have just all the mana we need. Ancient Tomb off the top would be a fantastic draw. We have the Solitude in hand. We have Containment Priest. A lot of just good bears here, and although the mana's a little bit tough, I'm pretty happy to keep this. I would say this is kind of a 6 with the added bonus of Caves. But yeah, I think Pauper is a really good format to look into if you're looking to play online. Even just to get to know how you actually play games on Magic Online. Or even a draft. Opponent went to 4 cards. Okay. There's another city. I obviously don't want to lead on the city because I don't want to lose it the turn I play it. Chrome Mox. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So I can't Caves here because I can't Chrome Mox for red. I kind of like Anointed Peacekeeper just to see if the road is clear. My only question is, and I'm actually not too sure about this, Containment Priest was Show and Tell. I believe if we put in Priest off Show and Tell, nothing happens because Containment Priest sees the same creature come down. You have to preemptively, yeah, go for it. I think we're just going to lead with the Anointed Peacekeeper here. I believe if they don't fetch here, we can just name that. Yes. Wow, they forced it. That's really interesting. Sitting there down to 1 card. Especially if they like fetch there and reveal. They have another mana source. So there's not too much. Hey, Ben. Now this is probably... I guess it doesn't hit enchantments. So maybe Touch wasn't the greatest card to have here. Honestly, I think I just like Emeria here. Fetch. I think it's Emeria, play the city, play the Chrome Mox pitching touch, and then hold up Containment Priest. Oh, we actually can't. Ah, see? That's learning. We should have played the Chrome Mox first, because now we can't play it. Yeah, apologies. Honestly, Archon not that great either. Like, it stops him from doing something now. I don't mind Chrome Mox here. Chrome Mox pitch touch. And then just hold up Containment Priest on their turn. And honestly, I'm just going to play it out here. Especially being under my own Archon as well. It does increase the clock as well to a 4-turn clock. Okay, that's really nice. Attack with both. I believe I should have actually. Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard. Okay. Yeah. And now we can get a red source as well. And I will play this. Get rid of the city so we can play the city next turn. Ah, Priest is a cleric? Ah, there we go. Yeah, so I should have played the Seasoned Dungeoneer that turn before attacking. I feel like most of the time it doesn't matter, but with Seasoned Dungeoneer you should probably just play it at the pre-main phase. Pre-combat main phase. Pre-main phase? Come on, man. Is that? Surely it's Brad. Hey Yorg, a pleasure. Funnily enough, I was talking to a local player, Hannah, this week about Yawgmoth in Modern, because it seems pretty cool. Seems like a really fun kind of toolbox deck. And Yorg seems like it's a bit of a house, as in the creature itself. Very troublesome. Yorg is a house. The deck as a whole, yeah, even this, like, I feel like there's a lot of tips and tricks for it as well. Like, I know there's a way with Cauldron you can get a grist, kind of like an infinite grist if you always have a creature with a counter on it, because the counter acts like a activation counter. Right, well here we have a turn 1 Dungeoneer, or Caves, or Forth, or Archon around days. So I'm pretty happy to keep this. Bloodstained Maya really makes me want to think they're on Reanimator, which means I really want to get this Archon down. But that still doesn't beat like Entomb Exhume. Oh, 4 mana? A Beseech deck, potentially? See, like, play draw as well here. It's just, oh, empty? That's not that great. Okay, we can beat that. What if we Forth here? I think we would want to just Forth get 2/2s and then just pass turn. They don't get the Monarch. Let's just do a quick, oh, what did I just do? Oh my gosh, sorry. I want to do my math. How do you screenshot? Isn't it Shift Start S? There we go. All right, trusty paint. And put it in. All right. So we would take 2 off Tomb, so it'd be at 18. We would then be able to block 2, so it'd take 6 and go down to 12. We block 2, we go down to 8. Yeah, I think it's worth just going for Ancient Tomb. I really don't want them getting the Monarch. There is a world where you go Archon, just in case they're a deck with Echo of Eons, to not allow them to echo then go off again. But then you do lose yourself the white source, which you're not, like, you might not draw. Brainstorm, okay. Interesting to see a Storm deck with main deck empty. But to be fair, a lot of decks don't have a great answer to it in the main deck. Nice. Ooh, okay. We're not doing anything here. Beseech runs an empty? Okay. That's good to know. One card left. Ugh. Can they just tendril to me now, and then the Ancient Tomb also gets me? They could find Beseech and then go off as well. Yeah. And there's tendrils. Yeah, it's a tough one. Maybe the line was turn 1 Archon. Because what if we go turn 1 Archon? Let's just come in a bit. Where's the little zoom? There's like a little zoom. There we go. Okay. Well, so it'd be at 20. If we play the Archon, we go to 18. And then we'd block 1. We take 7 and go down to 11. We then take 6. We go down to 5. We would have drawn the other Spirit Guide, which we can't do anything with. And then I think we just die quicker. Yeah, I think we needed the 2 blockers straight away. So, tough one. Honestly, not a whole lot that I want to change. I probably want to lose out on the Solitudes. The Null Rod seems good. The Lorans aren't too bad, I assume. I would have had the ability to probably cast a Caves with 2 Spirit Guides if I wanted to. And that would also farm me a white source. So that's actually pretty interesting. But potentially in that case, the 5 off the initiative would have been enough to get me. But yeah, now that's really interesting as well. Because you take 2, you get 18. You then take 7, so you get 11. You take 2 off the Ancient Tomb, but then you have 2 blockers. So you still take, you've taken out 1. There's now 7. You can block 2. You still take 5 and go to 4, and then the initiative just kills you when they swing in with everything. Because you can cast 1 more creature, but then you're still using the Ancient Tomb. That's a tricky one. I don't think I want like the Magus or the Faerie Macabres. They don't really use their graveyard. I can't stop Echo. I think it's just a case of these and potentially a Magus being okay. Maybe on the play. This isn't a turn 1 of anything, so I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. This is a pretty terrible hand, but that's fine. We have some pretty good 5s. What I'm looking for is Ancient Tomb, and Chalice, or turn 1 Archon. If they have the Guy's Will, yes, but I kind of want to be in a position where I can just stop them from being able to get to Guy's Will. So I don't want to dilute the beatdown plan too much. But I could see like some additional copies of Forth Eorlingas making it to the sideboard. I don't mind being able to turn off the graveyard, but I'm not too sure what else I would cut. Because we bring in these 3 definitely. The touches aren't great either, but potentially we could exile something. Like maybe you can drop a 4th, and they're your 4 Solitudes. Wait, sorry, yeah, there. And like a Fairy and a Magus. No. Look, what are we doing? Well, we're keeping a 3 here. So we're keeping a 4. Do we just keep turn 1 Anointed Peacekeeper and hope? That leaves us with the Cavern. Could also go turn 1 Eorlingas, but I feel like if they kept a 7, they kept a pretty quick 7. We're definitely dropping, in this case, Ancient Tomb. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Take the Plateau. There's no real need to worry about counter magic here. So I think it is probably just the Anointed Peacekeeper. I think that keeps us alive the best. But that's a great point. There's no need for the Cavern. I kind of just tunnel vision there into a blue deck. So I think we just do this. Oh, okay. Wow, double tendrils in the opener? I assume we just name Lotus Petal here, right? Yeah, because they cost 2 more? They are free to activate, but... yeah. I could also try to go after one of the actual, like, Besiege, but they have Adnors there as well, so... I think for now I'm happy to name the Petal, just to slow them down a little bit. And then that also opens us up drawing Chalice for 0 over time. Yeah, I'm not too sure because they can't really do a whole lot there. They can cast a Lotus Petal now. We can cast... okay. We can cast Forth for 0 just to get the initiative, but sadly did not find a land there. But hey, we've got a little bit of time. Okay. So honestly, here they could put back the other petal. Find a fetch. Okay. It's got to be pretty good. The land I don't want. That's pretty funny. So now they get to beseech. But what for? They could add Nors, but they're a pretty fair bit. Like 10 life isn't that much to work with. They do have a lot of their high cost cards in their hand though. They did brainstorm some away, but Peacekeeper is asymmetrical, correct. This one? Just opponents, but then activated abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate. But I guess for us it doesn't matter because Lotus Petal does not apply for the second line of text, but it does apply for the first. So thankfully in this case it does not hurt us. Which is, yeah, really nice. Pretty crazy that if we do get a turn and draw a colored source, we can put them on 1, which means if they fetch this turn, if they want to fetch, they can't. But obviously we aren't too sure if these are still in hand, so we might as well chuck them aside. But yeah, I feel like on the 4 we had like a 1 punch. We didn't have the 1-2 punch. We had 1 punch. And sadly it just didn't land as hard as we probably wanted it to. Watch the draw be Ancient Tomb. Okay. Touch doesn't really do a whole lot. We can channel this, although. Okay. I think I like channeling that. It comes back in end step? Yeah, okay. So main phase. Maybe there's a way. Okay. Hey, Lord Miller Gaming. A huge thank you for the 9-month sub. Very, very cool. Oh no, what's this going to be? 4 mana. Oh, Adnor's now, potentially? In the end step? Okay. Interesting. I guess, yeah, I guess if they don't do it now, then we just name it. So. Land. Ritual go to 6. Brainstorm go to 5. LED. Petal. Ritual go to 4. Oh, they're just going to stop there. Oh, okay. That's a lot of rituals. I guess we named Dark Rituals so that Cabal doesn't get those extras. I think Tendrils... Surely they can get to the Tendrils. I think we just named Dark Ritual. Geodude, too kind. Too kind. A huge thank you. Tendrils gaining life does suck, but it also buys us a bunch of time. So the hand is 12 cards. 2, 4, 6. Okay, let's just not. It shouldn't really matter. I think they would have it here. Or they get to dress down. Okay. That's a pretty nice card off the top. That's really nice. Now they just go ham. Yeah, I think we can let them go off, but that is definitely them. Hey Past, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So close. Thoughtseize. Okay. That's fair. Make sure there isn't a yeah, make sure there isn't like a mind break trap. Nice. Tough. Yeah, it would have been interesting to see what the fourth line was like. Especially knowing their opening now of land, petal, petal, and then a bunch of like 2 tendrils, 1 beseech, 1 Adnors? 3, 4, 5. I guess like a dark ritual off the top is really good, but really relies heavily on the top. Yeah, they had an Adnors, but they were a little bit off being able to cast it outside of ritual off top. Alright, on the play. A little bit too fair here. Really want a solid opening of like at least a 3-drop on turn 1 or potentially a season, so happy to mull this. This is a lot slower, but do we really want to go to 5? So turn 1 Karakas into Tomb into Peacekeeper, most likely. I think I'd rather play the Karakas turn 1 into Wasteland than the Tomb. There are some good 5s though. But if I'm dropping the first hand because it's too slow, this isn't that great either. I guess like a Chrome Mox or a Spirit Guide off the top means we can turn 2 Dungeoneer, which is kind of cool. So I might keep this in bottom of 4th. And then just go Karakas pass. Just because, yeah, I value the Soul Land more than the Karakas. As long as it's not Wasteland, yeah, Wasteland would be a little bit tough. But yeah. I do like their name. Drop, Regret, Repeat. That makes me think they're on a fair deck. Maybe Maverick. But we shall see. Opponent generally on Jank. Okay. I'm interested to see. Just don't put Sire of Insanity into play. Mountain Welder. Okay. I'm pretty happy to see that. And I'm probably pretty happy to play Anointed Peacekeeper into that. This does stop their Lotus Petals. But I think Peacekeeper here just to see what's happening on their side is good. Because I think information first is a bit easier to play with. Okay. Ooh, they're playing a version with Soul Cauldron. That's pretty sweet. So they're both blasts. They don't have a way to discard just yet. But they can play this next turn. I wonder if we just name Dragon Engine so they can't get it into play. So they play the Tomb, they play the Mox. Yeah, I think I'm happy to say... Like the Cauldron I'm not too scared of, right? Could name Welder. I'm sadly not the person to ask about Boromir, but it seems good on paper. As like, just one card to fill that kind of slot. I think because I want to get the initiative down or the fourth, I don't want them to allow... I don't want to allow them to get creatures into play, so I'm going to name the Dragon Engine. And then next turn we can Dungeoneer. Attack with Cleric. And turn after we can Forth, potentially. There's the Tomb. There's the Mox. There's Soul Cauldron. Okay. Alright. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate abilities or creatures you control. Okay. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with the Soul Cauldron. Okay. And then exile it. Exile target card from a graveyard. When a creature card is exiled this way, put a +1 count. Okay, cool. Interesting. I think getting the initiative online here is better because then we get an extra... We definitely get an extra mana off the Seasoned Dungeoneer for the fourth, which is nice. Ah, yes, Fable would be pretty sweet here. Fable with Cauldron's pretty cool. Discard cards. Yes. Yes, okay. Do this pre-combat because we know about this being a cleric. Probably just want to get a red source here, as then I have access to double red. Get to attack with the Peacekeeper. The Tomb's also doing work for us, because it is, of course, dealing them too. Solitude's nice. I actually don't mind drawing the Solitude here, because then next time we can Forth and also hold up Solitude. So next time we make 3 2/2s and we swing. There's the Fable. Okay, chat. You called it. So they take 5. Maybe they're actually just dead. Forge on Dungeoneer. I think we actually just Forth and then Solitude. The Goblin Welder, they go to 12. They have to block 1. Yeah, I think it's a really tough spot for them. Because we take out the Welder, they go to 12. We then attack with everything. Hopefully double trigger. They're definitely taking 6. They have to block. Yeah. Quite lucky there. This isn't a Chalice matchup. It doesn't really seem like a fourth matchup as well. I feel like they have a lot of ways to steal the Monarch potentially, so I could see this being trimmed. Boromir still seems sweet. Touch is really good, hitting both artifacts and enchantments. I like the Null Rod. I like the Lorwans. I like the Null Rod, especially in a version with Cauldron. And I probably just like some extra copies of Swords. Something like this. Archon's not great either. Especially with Goblins, they can just put things into play anyway. That maybe Forth is better. Maybe the extra sword and like cut on Archon. I don't mind that. Still be pretty aggressive. Have more removal for their creatures. Try to win through initiative while also having some cheap interaction for their combo. I feel like there isn't really a bad hit with Plow. Typically 8 goblins, painters, cheap interaction, which is nice. Don't really want to be hitting Fable tokens, but everything else is pretty nice. Also potentially something to put under Chrome Mox if we have like Ancient Tomb, Simian Spirit Guide, Chrome Mox, Swords, and Initiative creature in our opener. Pretty happy just to play that out. Okay. We have a 1-lander with a Chrome Mox. We have a pretty big banger in Loran, but just I'd rather have my mana online. As cool as this could work, pretty happy to mulligan this. A lot of 2-for-1s. We have a few ways to 1-for-2 or 2-for-1 them, but yeah, a lot of not a big fan. There's a world where I'd be like, sure, let's keep this, but okay, well this is worse. Yes, nice one, Yogg. A 5 it is. Okay, we'll go with this. We'll keep this, and we'll bottom 2 lands. Okay. Okay. I mean, next time we have Simian into Archon, which isn't too bad. Yeah, White-Plume is just so strong. Especially as a 3-drop. They have the Painter. Okay. I will untap. I could respond like just before they can Lotus Petal us, but they currently don't have open. Ooh, touch. Now that's pretty interesting. I probably just want to touch here with the Simian. We're definitely playing this. And then I think the play is just to touch the Painter. The issue is, if I'm touching the Painter and using 3 mana for it, why not cast Solitude, pitching the touch, and then just playing Archon for turn? I feel like if we're using the mana to play touch, I'd probably rather just pitch it to Solitude, but still build out what we're doing. Hey Dirk, welcome. The reason not to do that is that if we touch this, we then still have the Solitude if really needed. But then we're stuck on 2 mana. I am stuck. I kind of like the touch. Can't die unless I draw Tomb. Yeah, I also don't want to just time walk myself. How many basics does Painter usually run? I think I still have Julian's list from when we played Red-White. He played 3, so I would assume anywhere between 3 to 5. Maybe not 5, maybe like 3 or 4. Yeah, okay. I'm happy to go with Archon. And then Solitude this while they're tapped out. Okay. You can see my mistake. I should have Solitude first because now I can't Solitude. Because I've cast the Archon as my spell per turn. And now we do lose to Soul Land, activate, hold up, blast. Which is pretty brutal. Especially for the amount of time we spent on that. That stuff. Yeah. Sequencing. It's a thing. Oh, okay. Welder. That is going to be fine. Because of that, I really want a Solitude now. Yeah. Because then I can hopefully draw into a Soul Land and just play Seasoned. This also takes them off the ability to hold up Blast. And blast something on my turn, which is nice. Okay, that's pretty good as well. Not great, but like a second Solitude is not something I can be too unhappy about. Okay. So I could respond by killing the Welder, but then I don't have anything really impactful to do the following turn, so I think that's a bit of a trap. I'd rather see... Okay, that's pretty good. Ah. Yes. Discard, draw 3, that's pretty good. Okay. Oh, and they hit a Painter? That's pretty nice. I think in that case, I'm just still happy just to untap here. Oh, Cavern? Human? So it's a double strike. But yeah, now the issue is that they've kind of pivoted towards the mid-range plan of just Dragon Engine. And so the Solitude and the white card in hand aren't that great. Because now if we use it on the Dragon Engine, they've already drawn 3 cards off it. And then they can just go for the combo, which is currently in the graveyard. And now I have to kind of wait to get another white card in hand if I want to play out the Seasoned Dungeoneer. Yeah, like what does this do? Nothing. That's my one card for... That's my one... that's my one spell for turn. We're not winning this race. Bowmaster. Okay. Yeah, honestly, we're in a really bad spot here. Oh, actually, they tapped off. That's interesting. Bridge. Are they going to bridge me? So I could try to Solitude this now. They have no red open, which is nice, but then they do have both pieces in the graveyard, which we just die to. Yeah, because what the plan would be is... I guess I would need another artifact, but they could use red and tap, put Grindstone into play, activate Grindstone with the 3 mana, hold priority, tap the Welder, sacrificing the Grindstone, put the Painter in play, named Blue, and now the Grindstone ability resolves. Yep, the Painter in play, and that's how you get there. Huh. I could also go after the Welder here. I don't think that's great either. Maybe it is time to go after the Welder. No, because then they get to recoup on this. I don't think I can let this go to the graveyard again. Give them another 3 cards. Ugh. I think we've lost this, but I'm happy just to play it out and see what happens. But I would assume at this point in time we're just too far away from getting back into this. It would take a really, really good card off the top. Something like potentially Null Rod. We're also not winning the race, so I might as well hold back the Archon. Oh, that is Simian Spirit Guide. Yuck. Yeah, we'll play it. We'll play it out. But this is this was a learning one. Yeah, I think we're actually just dead to the combo next turn. Okay. Honestly, Archon is not... I feel like we're the deck that wants a 2-spell each turn. It could be fairies. I don't mind having a fairy in the deck or two. Yeah, just these openers haven't been great. Okay. We have a turn 1 Anointed Peacekeeper. Sorry, a turn 2. Priest is okay, but they do have ways to get around it. Is Peacekeeper really what we want to keep here? Probably is. Turn 2 Peacekeeper. And then just hope land off the top over the next 2 turns to cast one of these. I wouldn't mind putting back the caves in case I want to go for Forth. Forth also really good under Chrome Mox. We already have Seasoned for... Yeah. Opponent on 7. Okay. Ooh, they have a Fury. So they could Fury next turn anyway. It honestly could just be Saga. Or Fable. It's actually probably Fable. Yeah, because they have the Spirit Guide and the land. Ooh, nice. Now it's interesting. Is Forth better than Fury here? Sorry, is Forth Eorlingas better than Seasoned Dungeoneer? We know the hand. I think Seasoned is better. It's tough though. At least with Seasoned, they can only take one of these with the Fury. Yes, and then potentially with a mountain off this, we can just cast the Forth to get access to... red mana here. We also don't need to play it this turn, which I kind of like. I actually like holding it because I think the city mana is just too good next turn. Ooh, a second city. Does that change things? Probably not. I think I'd rather hold the mountain here. And then I can save this city at like a turn later as well. So they have 3 mana, but they don't have access to black mana for Bowmaster. There goes Fable and Fury. Okay. Sure. Now this becomes a 5/5, which is really nice. Spirit Guide Bolt. Wow, okay. Caves. Interesting. I think we just like that. Because this will be a 3/3. And then we can still Forth it. We can still Solitude it if need be. They probably just get a Mox Opal here, because it turns on the Bowmaster. But maybe they actually use all their Saga mana. I'm probably happy just Solituding now, but it's so close. Hey Mike, welcome. Like, do I really care? Or do I want the cave? Because next time we draw an extra card, we're pretty close to being able to hardcast Solitude. The extra mana, the extra life probably matters. 5. Could even not block. There's the Moxen. There's a land. I think I like getting the extra value off the caves attacking as well. So probably should have done this earlier, but does gain them extra 2 life. We draw 2 cards here, which is pretty big. Oh, they can Orcish here. They didn't Orc. Wow, okay. Wow, they could have Orced and pinged. I believe we attack first. I don't want to play a land just yet in case we hit a land. Null Rod's pretty good. But they do already have a construct in play. Or 20. This is a tough one, because we can play the Null Rod, which is obviously very good. Then they cast the Bowmaster. Take the initiative. I think I'm just going to play the city here. I don't want to lose the 2 from Tomb, because even though we're at 20, it can really add up. They have to respond to it. Yeah. But at least like one initiative creature off the top, or even one more fourth. Two cards left for them. There it is. That's how we played it up. Nice. We'll take that. I'm pretty happy just holding these right now. Honestly, a 6/5 Solitude is just so good here. Alright. Yeah, I think it's just a little bit too tough for them to get there from here. But hey, we'll take it. A few key missed chances there for myself in terms of sequencing, which can really add up. Even little things like knowing what to do before you play an Archon, because once an Archon is in play, you can't do anything else that turn. Hey Code, thanks for the sub. 8 months is fantastic. Love the support. Thank you very much. Too kind. I'm also really red. I went to the beach on the weekend, and I can see in my camera that I don't want to be that red. There we, that's all right. Okay, see how that goes. It was more on theme of the whole red-white initiative. I want to be both. Right, true. Look, this is a term on Chalice, but nothing really else, so. Okay, this is turn on Chalice and then turn to Forth Eorlingas. Pretty happy to keep this. And I think I'm going to bottom the plains here. Bottom the plains, and then we still have either one of these, which is pretty sweet. Turn on Chalice is very reasonable. I'll bottom the plains because we can find it with the Seasoned Dungeoneer. Tabernacle, okay. That's actually not too bad. That actually works out pretty well for us because we obviously here just want to go Seasoned Dungeoneer. I think, yeah, even if we lose the Seasoned Dungeoneer to like Wasteland, that's fine with us. I could also Forth here. Just keep drawing cards. That doesn't seem too bad either. They can play the Wasteland. Do I want... Okay, chat. I'm going to do a little vote. Do you want to go Forth or Seasoned here? Do you want the Crown or do you want Initiative? I think both are great against lands. I would say potentially Crown is better. We've got one for Seasoned. Seasoned? Alright, Seasoned's at 2. Let's get a little Season or Crown. 1, 2, 3. It looks like it. Yeah, we're playing Initiative. We're playing Initiative, so we'll go Seasoned. And then here, I think we'll go for white, just because it turns on a bit more. And then see if we can ride this to victory. Okay. It was not, I repeat, not Wasteland. Which is huge. Yes. Let's forge. Let's just get big. Ooh, Chalice for 0 here is pretty cool. I like Chalice for 0 turning off Moxen. Solitude. I'm just going to graveyard that. Not too scared of Merit Liege here. And we actually have lethal next turn. Oh, so close actually. Oh, the One Ring. Okay. That's pretty spice. It could be post. We'll still attack because then we get the trigger. But then we'll just pass back. They did use Spirit Guide. So I actually might assume this is going to be post. But thankfully for us, they have no cloud posts in play just yet. Okay, there's a post. But still no I guess they could have Endurance open. Ooh. Honestly, I like Anointed Peacekeeper here. I think it's fun to play the fourth, but I think Peacekeeper potentially just seeing like some sort of game-winning spell is enough for me to consider that first. I guess we attack first. They have another ring. They also have prime time. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. With Glimmer Post, it's 5 mana. I think it's actually just the ring here that we name. Because they're still pretty off Titan. Thankfully. They could play Glimmer Post to gain some life, but don't think it's enough. One, two, three, four. Oh, it comes in untapped. For some reason, I thought it came in tapped. Apologies. Yeah, for some reason I thought it came in tapped. It obviously does not come in tapped. Chasm. Okay. Chasm's pretty annoying. Could find Solitude here, which is kind of nice. So I guess by naming the One Ring, we do open up the ability for us. Oh, we don't find one? Rough. I guess then we just get caves and try to get the initiative going again. Down to trap. is trap. Target player loses 5 life, and this is damage. Prevent all damage. Whereas this is okay. So I think that's our kind of line, is just to get the initiative going. That'll also be a big creature. I guess they can get more Glimmer Posts from the prime time though. Let's go cave. There's no basics. Ooh, okay. Now let's go. I probably just want to attack with the Seasoned Dungeoneer to see what flips. Dealt damage, yeah. No, I want that. Yeah. Wait, how does wow, Glacial Chasm and the One Ring work really well together. They don't take damage. So they don't take damage off the One Ring. That's pretty cool. Oh, but now they do because they lost the Chasm. Okay. They attack. Oh, it's life loss? Ah, you lose 1 life. Okay. Apologies, I take that back. They get an eye. They're going to play another ring. So I think in this case, I'm happy just to hit this. Block. It's pretty good. And the ring, yeah. That's probably gonna be it. We know Caves is on top. They also just have a million mana with the eye, so I think we just concede here, unfortunately. Close, but not close enough. Chalice is coming out. Swords is probably coming in. I assume they're still on Reclaimer. Boromir can come out. Yeah, Magus seems good. Archon still seems fine. Touch seems okay, but not great. Maybe it's like a little trim. A little trim here and there. Null Rod turns off the ring, but it's the protection that really matters. That's the tough part. It could even be something like this. Let's go with this. We have the Solitudes as well, so I think like 7 effects of Swords Plowshares is fine. Really want that like turn 1 Archon or like turn 1... one of these turn 1 I'd be happy with. Yeah, Fake Futurism has been putting up a lot of good results with Cloud Post, especially with Interplay taking a little break from Magic. So definitely check out their lists if you want to get a good Cloud Post list. Really cool to see the innovation around Spirit Guide and the Ring making into the deck. Oh no, just one mana short. I guess this is turn 1 Magus, but then just doing like nothing. I think there's a better 5. They're probably playing Dismember, let's be honest. Yeah, there's a better 5. Is there a better 4? Probably not. The better 4 has to be these two and 2 mana sources. I guess we just try to go for the... It's actually probably keep Magus and bottom these two. And then we have a little bit of everything. And I think we actually lead on Ancient Tomb, because then we can either have one of these. If we draw a red source, we have the... I guess we want to get this into play though. The 6 was tough because it was a good turn 1 play, but then no play after that. Because it was just the planes. Opponent kept 7. Reclaimer, okay. Archon. I probably don't mind Archon here. Peacekeeper next turn. But the basic is... The Reclaimer with the Magus in play is pretty tough. One, 2, 3. Okay, so here we name Reclaimer. And then the next one we name the ring. That's pretty interesting. Cavern. Now I feel like we should just go for Magus. Just to turn off double forest potentially. Or really to turn off this mana as additional mana. Like now they just have 4 mana. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say fetch depths and then dismember would have been a sweet play. Well, they have the crop. They're just gonna gain a bunch of life? Okay. I guess they didn't have the removal spell. Two creatures currently in the bin. So now we're actually in a tricky spot where there isn't a great attack other than Archon. Yeah. Because the Reclaimer just becomes... Like, it's 2 and then 2, so they have 4 mana to activate to make it a 3/4. That's tough. Yeah, maybe the Magus wasn't as great as I thought. Like, it keeps the One Ring off play, but now the One Ring's in play. So, yeah. I could cast the Ape. I was kind of keeping it for the 4 mana. Yeah, Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Yeah. Green Suns for 6, which I assume gets Prime. Yeah. Yeah, tough. Like, even the swords we couldn't cast, the Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah. Maybe it's a little bit too trigger happy on the Magus without getting the basic first off the Seasoned Dungeoneer. But then it's really tough because then we know about the ring. Seems like a pretty tough matchup. The ring seems really good. They don't really care about the initiative, but they also just have creatures to gain the initiative when they need to. Need a really good clock, but I feel like the ring puts the clock off the table. So then you just kind of allow them to get to the mana they need to. Reclaim also a really nice way to mitigate any damage of Magus. It's funny how bad Magus was for us there. No turn 1 play, so pretty happy to mull. Again. I feel like you need to be pretty lucky with like the openings with like Ancient Tomb. Like a turn 1 Seasoned Dungeoneer and an opener isn't too far-fetched, but you do have to get some amount of luck. Okay. No Soul Land, but turn 1 Chalice for 1. I almost feel like we just hold the mana for caves. Anointed. Yeah. Potentially just play the Lotus out and then the Chalice for 0. But then if we draw Lotus, we actually can't cast the caves. I also don't mind just Chalice for 1 here. Maybe that's enough to buy us some time. And then a Soul Land does it off the top. This deck at least does have a lot of good outs here. And potentially Chalice, okay. Rabble. Okay. A little bit tough. Also a deck that doesn't really care about. Yeah. I think the mulligan's just a bit too hard there. The Chalices can come out. The swords can come in. I probably don't mind the Lorans. The Boromir's interesting. If no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So I guess that hits Fury, which is kind of nice. I would assume the Forth aren't great, especially because of their Goblin tokens getting in there. Null Rod's interesting. I think it's a case of just finding like a 6 or a 7 that's playable. This is a 6 or a 7 that's playable. Hey Nola, very cool to see you. Hope you're doing well. A big thank you for the raid. What did you just play and how did you go playing it? I would say they are mono red prison, given the Rabble Master. But I could be wrong. But I'm happy to play this out thinking they're on mono red prison. More than a Chrome Mox version of Goblins with Rabble Master. I'll get the basic planes first as well because of Blood Moon potentially. Which I assume they don't have, but... And hey, welcome all of those from Nolagold stream. Hope you're doing well. 6-0 limited challenge. And then 5-2 modern challenge with Marta. Nice. Ooh, okay, that's pretty tough. Yikes. There goes the initiative. So we do a Boromir here into caves, which isn't too bad. Could also just try to take out the Rabble Master. But I don't mind putting a creature into play. So I get to forge here as well. Maybe that's a reason to hold up the swords. Yeah, we swords this. They only have one creature potentially to attack with. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Nice. Take 7. Go to 8. Okay. Oh, this has vigilance. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. So we attack first, we gain the initiative. Probably don't mind forging. And then probably playing caves out. But I could also hold up a sword to hit the Rabble Master. I think I'm okay hitting the Rabble Master. So doing it at the beginning of combat. Actually, no, at the end of main phase. Yeah. Because this triggers at the beginning of combat. Yeah. Vigilance is pretty cool in a initiative deck. I guess maybe they have Chrome Mox in hand. trap them. Okay. Play caves. Draw a card. Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. I did not expect that. Okay. Interesting. On the draw. How do things change? I would assume they have a creature down first. Maybe the priest, just because as well, they can block. Which doesn't sound like much, but being able to block a 1/1 with a 2/2 every turn isn't too bad. I think the touch is potentially where I want to go out. Touch with Solitude is cool, but you really need to line it up pretty well. And in the early game, you don't have too many turns to get that going, so... Funnily enough, this would have been a hand with the touch and the Solitude, but... I don't mind this, especially with the Solitude. It doesn't have a soul land, but has a lot of things going for it otherwise. Opponent on 5. Ah, it is goblins. Well, chat, you got me good. Honestly, here, I think it's just the 4th, potentially. Oh, did I just pass my turn? I just passed my turn. Apologies. No, no. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Yikes. I think we're just dead. Like, next time we can block the biggest thing, we're still taking lethal. Yeah, tough. Tough. A pretty... Yeah, definitely an eye-opening, like, first league with initiative. I think sideboarding I could definitely do a lot better on. And then also, Faerie Macabre, sequencing. Sequencing a big one as well. But I think understanding matchups is a big one, especially knowing what to take in and what to take out. Because it feels like I shouldn't be in a position where I'm wanting to just like trim on things. It should be a pretty clear, like, these 3 go out, these 3 go in. So I think sideboarding is a big one. But yeah, pretty good mix of decks tonight. A lot of mulligans, but that's always gonna be the like part of the experience of playing a deck like this. Is like you get some broken starts, but you also get some really trash starts. And there's probably a bit of an art as well to knowing how to mulligan with the deck. So I think that's only going to be something that you get better with at time. I don't think in 5 matches with the deck I'll get that, but I think maybe with 50 leagues I'll get that, to be realistic. But yeah, it was cool to play. It was nice and quick as well. So if you have a lunch break and you want to play Magic, you want to play Legacy, yeah, Initiative seems like a pretty good bet to do that with. But yeah, that's going to be me. A huge thank you to you guys for coming in and watching, the new followers, to the resubs. I very much appreciate it. I've got some pretty cool content going live this week. I just finished the deck tech for Eternal Weekend on Abzan Depths with Dennis, so that should be pretty cool. I will render it tonight and then get it up on YouTube tomorrow night, this time tomorrow. And then I've also got a Bant Maverick donation deck list to power through. It should be really interesting to see where Bant Maverick is at this point in time. And then the usual stream on Thursday. So looking forward to that. But hey, a huge thank you again. If you enjoy this content, definitely consider following the channel. But until then, I'm going to see who else is streaming. A big thank you as well to Nola Gold for coming in and yeah, getting on the stream and raiding. I'm going to send you guys over to Demonic Shooters. So, hope you enjoy that. I believe they're playing the Modern Challenge, which is nice. Obviously a very proficient player, but also playing some Legacy at the moment, so enjoy that. Thanks to you dudes. All the best, and I'll catch you next time.